Hello booktube and welcome to the Rhinebeck 2019 vlog. So excited. I've been so looking forward to this trip, you guys know. It is Thursday morning. It's about 11 o'clock and I'm just getting on the road. I planned on being on the road about 10:30, so I'm about a half an hour delayed, but that's okay. I think I might take the toll highway to make up some time because I don't know what traffic's going to be like going through the city. It is really cold today. It is about 7 degrees Celsius, which is about 45 Fahrenheit. So it's a little chilly and it's really windy. So I'm a little concerned about going over the Burlington Skyway. It's a bridge that I have to cross over going towards Buffalo, and it like goes whoop, and sometimes in really heavy winds they close it down, but it's not that heavy, but it is still windy, which never makes for a very pleasant drive, but that's okay. It's just today and they should be gone by tomorrow, or later on tonight, actually around 5 o'clock. I think they said the winds were going to slow down. But by then, like, I only have to get to Buffalo today. And then tomorrow's the 6-hour drive with Brandy to the hotel in Kingston, New York, or Rhinebeck. So yeah, anyway, I am heading out and I will keep you guys updated as I go. Talk to you soon. Bye. Hi guys, happy Friday. Do you want to be in here? Look! I did not vlog yesterday. I apologize, guys. It was a bit of a crazy day. Lots of running around. But anyway, we're going to try and get some pictures today. I know Brandy's going to try and... Oh, yes, this is Brandy.
Hi!
And there goes her phone.
I did get some video and a couple pictures.
Okay, so we'll see. We might have some video and pictures and stuff like that to send in.
It was Mandy.
Oh, it was Mandy? We're all on the road today. We are... Well, we're still in New York State. We're staying in New York State. And... I don't know where the heck we are in New York right now, but we're about 4 hours away from our destination. So I might update you guys again during the travels. And if not, I will talk to you when I get to the hotel. Bye, guys. Morning, guys. Happy Saturday. I know it's a horrible angle. There we go. That's a little bit better. Oh, no, now the sun's right in my face. We just stopped at the diner for breakfast and we are on our way to the festival. I got cute little braids today. I'm going to turn the camera around and let you guys see the view here because it's really pretty. And I'll talk to you in a bit. Bye. Hi guys, I've arrived. Very exciting. It's probably really noisy, but I am at the fairgrounds. I will of course get more pictures as the day goes on, but yeah, I am here. I am super excited. I need to take a little break already from walking because we are parked so far away because we didn't get here till late. It's like almost noon. Usually we're here not long after the gates open at 9, but we showed up a bit later this morning because we had a late night last night. But, and then we went to breakfast and stuff this morning, so yeah. So my friends have taken off, so I'm gonna go find them. But of course I will get video today. I'm gonna try and chat a little bit more today, but we shall see. But I've got a hat from my friend Mandy on, and the sweater that I knit, my Langlade. And yeah, so super stoked. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Hi guys, sorry for the glare. It's really bright and sunny, obviously, as you can tell. We're still here. It's about almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We're gonna probably leave in about an hour and go for dinner. I made a few purchases. I bought some yarn. I know, big surprise. I'll do a show and tell tonight when we're back at the hotel. I'll bring the camera out and I'll do a little show and tell. I think that's all I'm gonna buy. Nothing else was really jumping out at me. And yeah, I'm pretty pleased. It's been fun. It's a lot of walking. I'm tired. Sat down and had some lunch, had a slice of pizza. I do plan on buying some popcorn before I go. It's one of my favorite things here. It's the kettle corn. It's really, really good. So I think I got some pictures and stuff of the booths, or not the booths, the animals you've already seen. So when we go back, we're gonna do one more quick round of a couple of the booths and or the barns, and I will take you guys there and show you that as well, to kind of get a glimpse. You've seen the outside, but to see the inside, because sorry, I'm switching hands here, because it's pretty spectacular. It's really busy. My friends and I were showing each other what we bought. We got some really great things. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, you guys, and I'm enjoying it. This year was kind of marred by an experience at the hotel. I don't think I told you guys, so I'm just gonna rest against this pole here. I know it's not the most exciting background, but whatever. And the sun's totally in my face, sorry. So anyway, what happened is that we were booked in at this hotel in town, and we got to the hotel, and I have a Visa debit card from Canada, because of course I'm Canadian, and it doesn't have my name on it. The bank that issued them we don't have a name on it. So anyway, I got there and she's like, can I have your credit card and ID? And I'm like, yeah. So I was paying for the room with my card, and then the girls were paying me back their share of the room. And she goes, yeah, we can't accept this because doesn't have your name on it. And I'm like, but it's in your system. You know, like, I booked it with this card and I've never had a problem anywhere else. And she's like, yeah, but this is like our policy. And I totally get a policy, and I totally get why they're doing it. And, you know, that it's to prevent fraud. I totally understand, you know. But the thing is that she was really snippy to me, and I may have been a little stressed from the 7-hour drive that I'd just done. And I kind of got a little snippy back at her, and I thought, okay, crap. So I went over to put my bag down, and I kind of tossed it on this chair, in the lobby, right? Like, I didn't whip it or anything. I just kind of tossed it over and put it with my suitcase, because we of course had brought everything in thinking we were going to check in. And I went back over, I'm like, okay, so blah, 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 what can I do? Can I pay cash? Oh, we don't want to rent to you now. That's her words to me. And so we had nowhere to stay. So we ended up at the cabins. Thankfully, I had the number for the cabin. So I called, and I got, they still had the one that we had last year available. So we were still 45 minutes from the festival, which was kind of sucked. Plus, we didn't have, you know, cell signal or anything like that. But I mean, it's only for a couple nights. So it is what it is. I'm just glad that we had a place to stay. And the girls were still willing to give me the same amount of money that they were going to pay for the hotel, because not only were they not going to rent to me at the hotel, but because I was going to be considered to be a no-show, they were still charging me for one night. So that's $160 US for the night that they were charging me. So I was beyond upset at that point. Yesterday was not a good day. There's always something that happens when you try and go away, and you know, so what I did when I got back in the car after we figured out that yes, we're okay, we can stay at the cabins, was that I called corporate for this hotel chain. I'm not going to say what it is, but I called corporate and I lodged a complaint, because I felt that she was being very rude, and then to not allow me to book, you know, to still stay, because the thing is this is the busiest weekend of the year for this small town, for Kingston, Woodstock, like this area in New York. So I know I'm not stupid, that what this woman was thinking was, you know, they can charge me for the one night, plus they can rent the room to somebody else. So they can essentially get double payment for last night for that room. So yeah, so I put the call into corporate. I let them know that I had an issue. I lodged a complaint. They're going to get back to me within a week. they said, you know, like, we're really sorry about that. And I said, I found she was very rude to me at the beginning. And then when sorry guys, a bee. ah, oh. Ah, sorry. live video here, you guys. So anyway, yeah, so I lodged a complaint, and if I don't get my money back that they've charged me, then I am going to go to my bank and let them know that I didn't authorize this charge and talk to them and see if there's anything that they can do, because 160 Canadian equals about 2.25, or no, 160 US equals about 2.25 Canadian. So yeah, so needless to say, that's an extra 200 and change I hadn't planned on spending this weekend. So yeah, I'm a little upset about that, needless to say. But anyway, that was the big snafu yesterday. So we are at the cabin. So I will, of course, get some video tonight. I think I already got some. I might have taken some. You might have already seen it and been wondering, you know, about the fact that I said I think I was staying in a hotel. But yeah, so anyway, our other friends were at the cabins because they thought that, the other thing too, is that they thought that they had reservations. And then when they went to go like get confirmation, it turns out that they don't have them in their system. So something was fishy going on with this hotel. So we're not impressed. I will not be staying there again. Our other friends, 3 of our friends are actually staying there. So, you know, that's cool. And you know, I'm glad. But we're going to head out to dinner in like an hour and a bit. And yeah, and go from there. So anyway, guys, I will update you guys a little bit. Bye. Hi, guys. It is Sunday and I am home. It is about 6:45 at night. I just got in about a half an hour or so ago, and I'm exhausted. It is a long drive on the Sunday. We've been out. Brandy and I left at about after 8 this morning, and we made a couple stops, of course, on the way home, or on the way back to Buffalo to drop her back off again at the airport. And so we got there, I guess about 2:30ish or so, and then I went to Walmart because that was my last stop before I crossed over the border, and I wanted to, of course, hit up Walmart and get some of the snacks and stuff like that that you can't pick up here in Canada. And then I crossed the border and came home. I had no problems getting over the border either way, which is always fantastic. And yeah, I mean, it was a long trip, you guys. It's a long and tiring weekend. It is a blast, and I wouldn't miss it for the world. I already booked my hotel for next year. You have to get on these things right away, or else you're not going to get a hotel. You're not going to get anything. And I mean, like I mentioned earlier in another clip about the fiasco with the hotel, it is a different hotel that I am picking, so don't worry. I will not be staying at that unmentioned hotel again this time, even though it is one of the cheaper ones. But I'd rather pay a few extra dollars and stay at a better hotel. And I do have plans, actually, now that this has happened with the whole issue with them not accepting my Visa debit card because it doesn't have my name on it, is I'm actually going to call my bank tomorrow and just say, listen, I ran into an issue when I was trying to book a hotel and they wouldn't accept it because it didn't have my name on it. You know, can they send me a card that has my name embossed on it? I'm sure it will not be a problem. It's just that when Garrett and I got the bank open last year, they just gave us cards right there at the bank, and we never thought to follow up to get cards with our names on them, because why would we? We've never had a problem. And I suppose in retrospect, after the fact, I was thinking that maybe I could have asked the girl, you know, would you mind calling my bank, and perhaps that maybe they could vouch for it. I don't know. You know, I wish I'd thought about that. But it's always those things you think about after the fact. Plus the fact that they were quite rude, and that really, really set me off. But I'm not going to get into that. So I did have something I wanted to talk to you guys about. And that is the reason why you guys probably didn't see a Friday Reads from me on Friday, that I had said that I was going to film on Wednesday night before I left. Wednesday night was a very frightening night for us, for the family. I didn't talk about it yet in this vlog because I was around people and I didn't want to take the time to sit down and do it, because I was still, up until like a couple of hours ago, I wasn't upset about it. Like I calmed down over the course of the weekend, but up until like a few hours ago, when everything was is all better now, that, you know, let me explain, as I'm not explaining very well, obviously. So on Wednesday, I was going to stop on my way home from work over at my mom's house to pick up the cardigan for my the person that I work with for her new baby. And because I had given it to my mom over the weekend, last weekend, and asked her to wash it for me, please. So that way it wouldn't have cat fur in it and things like that from the apartment and stuff like that. So she did that for me, and then I was going to go pick it up on Wednesday. So I called her in the afternoon just to make sure that her and dad were going to be home because they usually go to Wednesday nights for dinner. But my mom's like, no, your father's having a treatment today. And I'm like, oh, a chemo treatment. And I guess that it was delayed by a day because of the long weekend. Usually has them on Tuesdays. So anyway, she's like, no, actually, he's not having a chemo treatment because he's been really sick. He has had, him and my mom both, I think I told you guys, they both got bronchitis, and dad just kind of never fully recovered. He'd got to the point where he couldn't walk up the stairs without like gasping for breath. So, you know, my mom said to him, like, when you go to the doctor on Tuesday, because he has to go the day before his chemo treatments to get blood work done and things like that. He's like, tell the doctor. She's like, tell the doctor all the things that you're not feeling well and blah, blah, blah. So the doctor had a discussion and they decided on Wednesday to do a blood transfusion, actually, of all things. And the doctor's like, you are going to feel 100% better when it's done. You know, like, let's clean out all the bad stuff and put in the good stuff, kind of an idea. So, you know, dad's like, all right, whatever you guys want to do, you know, I'm all for feeling better, right? So Wednesday, he had this done and he was over at the hospital at 1 o'clock. So I'm driving over to my mom's house and it's about 5:30 at night and I get a phone call from her and she's like, the hospital just called me and your father's in emergency. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? He was having a lot of trouble breathing during the transfusion. So they took him to the emergency room, obviously. So this is all on Wednesday night, like after work. So I go to my mom's house, I pick her up, her and I drive over to the hospital. And, you know, the whole time we're going over, we're thinking, okay, he's probably on an oxygen mask. And, you know, it's probably because of the bronchitis. You know, we're speculating and things like that. And we get there and we told the gentleman who we were there to see. And he's like, well, let me see if he can have visitors. And I'm kind of got this heavy feeling in the pit of my stomach. And then we were taken back to see him. And guys, it was terrifying. It was absolutely terrifying. He was on a mask that was like completely strapped to your head. Monitors. He was in a room all by himself, and his chest was just heaving like he was gasping for air. I can read the machines, most of them, what all the numbers mean because of all the time I've spent in hospital. His blood oxygenation level was only 77%. You know, he was gasping, like I said, for air. His heart rate was high. His blood pressure was high. You know, and the doctor comes in and, you know, talks to Mom and I, and he's like, yeah, he just couldn't breathe and blah, blah, blah. And they said there's a couple different things that could have caused this. They said they said the 1 in a million chance is that some sort of antibody in the blood that they gave him didn't react well with an antibody or something in his body and caused this to happen. Or what it was, and what they are almost positive is what it was that he actually got too much blood and his lungs were filled with fluid. But they said they treat both things the same way. So they were treating him, and that's this machine that he had on was actually forcing air into his lungs and keeping his lungs open. Like when you breathe in, your lungs open, and you breathe out, your I don't know what they're called. I'm not very good at the respiratory stuff. The cardiology stuff I know. The respiratory not so much. But those like little bronchial tube things, it keeps them open, and that's what they were forcing to have happen. So the doctor comes in, and Dad was kind of like, he was lucid. He knew what was going on, right? Like he wasn't out of it, but he was still a little out of it. Does that make sense? He wasn't fully 100% there. And the doctor said if they couldn't get this kind of started to get corrected, they were giving him a medication to flush this fluid out of his lungs, that they would have to put a tube down his throat and put him put him out like for a few days with this tube down his throat, because they don't want you awake because you'd want to swallow on it or something like that. I mean, I get it. Again, I'm familiar with hospital stuff, but still hearing it for your parent is terrifying. So the doctor says to Dad, he goes, if we can't, can we put a tube in your throat, like put a tube down your throat? And Dad said no. And Mom and I kind of looked at each other and were like, what? And, you know, Dad's just shaking his head, you know, like, no. And the doctor said to him, you know, he turned to my mom and he says, have you discussed this before? Like, discuss these kind of I hate to say the word DNR, like a do not resuscitate kind of an idea. And mom's like, no, sadly, this is not something we've discussed. And I'm petrified. Like I am just sitting there just trying to hold it all together. And I've actually started to cry at this point. And the doctor's like, I know it's a lot all at once. And then he says to my dad, he goes, do you know where you are? And dad's like, I'm at the hospital. And he says, do you know why you're here? And he says, or no, do you know how this happened? And he says, blood transfusion. So he knew what he was talking about. And the doctor says, so we can't put a tube down your throat. And dad shakes his head again. He goes, even if it's to save your life. And then dad nods his head. Like, I don't think he understood the gravity of the situation. So the doctor said they weren't going to do that. That was going to be like a last resort kind of thing. If they couldn't get his oxygen level up, if they couldn't calm his breathing back down, right? Couldn't get this fluid off of his lungs. So we were at the hospital till about 11 o'clock at night. We got there at 6. And they admitted him in, of course, into the ICU or critical care unit or whatever you want to call it. And that was mainly because of the machine that he was on, that they needed him to be fully monitored all the time on this machine. By the time we left, his oxygen level was up to 99, 100%. So that was awesome. He was talking. His breathing was far less gaspy. Like he was still on this machine, and the machine was causing a lot of what we were seeing of the chest, like the heaving in a way. I talked to him and I said, listen, I said, because at that point I was like, I don't even care if I go away tomorrow. Like I will message the girls and tell them, they will totally understand. I was messaging them the whole time that all this was going on, right? And they're all like, if you can't come, we understand. Don't worry about it. Don't panic about it. Don't worry about us. You know what I mean? Like all these things. And then, so I said to mom, I said, call me. I said, I'm still going to go, because even if they have to put a tube in, it's going to be, there's nothing I can do. And my mom said, like she understood, like she says, you're not being selfish. You're not being any of those things. And I had even said to dad, I said, I'm supposed to be going away tomorrow. And he said to me, he goes, you have a good trip. So he told me to go, so I didn't feel like, I still felt guilty and I still felt sick when I left on the Thursday morning. So I went to work. I went to the office and I visited with everybody at the office. And then I was heading to the airport, and I called my mom, and there was no answer at the house. And she said she was going over to see dad at the hospital around 10 in the morning. And of course, there was no phone call overnight, which is always a no news is good news kind of a scenario. And she was going over to see dad around 10 o'clock. Well, it was now 3, and I'm thinking, where is she? Like, did something happen and she's at the hospital? You know what I mean? So I called my brother, and I said, have you talked to mom? And he's like, yeah, like this. And I said, and how's dad? He goes, oh, he's off the machine, his blah, 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 and all this. And I just felt so relieved. So they were able to get most of the fluid off of his lungs. And I guess they were still working on getting the rest of it or something. But he was off the machine. His heart rate was back down. His blood pressure was back down. His oxygen levels were good. His breathing was much better, of course. And I said, well, where is mom? He goes, she's at bingo. So dad was fine. Essentially, that's the moral of that part of the story. So as the weekend went on, like I didn't hear anything more on Friday. I didn't talk to my mom on Friday. And then on Saturday when I was at the festival, not long before I did that clip for you guys about the whole hotel fiasco, I got a text from my mom saying that dad was coming home today. And I called them after I got over the border, and dad was home. So yay. But guys, it was terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. I don't care how old you are, to see your parent like that. It's utterly terrifying. And yeah, I'm just glad it worked out and that they were able to treat it and that they knew what it was. So I talked to him today when I called the house to see, and he's like, yeah. And I said, so you had a pretty crappy weekend? He goes, yeah, I did. But I guess they were changing up some of his meds, so they kept him there for a few extra days. Like, I guess they could have probably, because everything was back to normal, they could have probably sent him home later on Friday. But because they were switching around some of his blood pressure medication and stuff like that, they wanted to keep him at the hospital to see how he would react to it, which is, I completely agree. So yeah, but he was moved out of critical care. And I guess he got a room on the regular ward, or the regular floor on Saturday. So that's okay. So that's good. He was eating and drinking and all those good things. So yeah. So needless to say, it's been a blast. This weekend was so much fun. Every year this weekend is so much fun. But there were just those two events that really set it off. Dad being in the hospital, and then the whole fiasco with the hotel. I'm still mad about that. Maybe I could have handled it differently. You know, I think to myself now, you play the what if game. You know, if I had been a little bit extra polite to her, would they have let us rent the room, you know, or but it is what it is, and you can't change anything, right? And I still feel bad because the group was split up. You know, three of them were Andrea, Jen, and Andrea's husband were at the hotel. The rest of us were all at the cabins, and the cabins are super far away, as awesome as they are. They're like 45 minutes from the festival, so it's a good kick of a drive either way. And I asked Jess, one of the girls in our cabins, I'm like, would you mind terribly driving to and from the festival on Saturday? Because she had a shorter drive than I did. And she's like, yeah, no problem if you guys throw me some money for gas and stuff, which I would have asked to do too, because, you know, and I'm like, absolutely. So we each gave her some money, and, you know, that was fine. So the festival itself was a blast. You guys probably already saw the pictures. So this is kind of like the after, you know. But I thought, okay, I've got a handful of things to show you guys, but I'm looking at all this stuff because people gave me things. So I kind of wanted to show you guys the spoils of my trip. I wanted to tell the story about Dad first. To get that kind of, you know, that little sad but happy at the end dealt with, talked about, and shared with you guys. And now we're going to show you guys the fun stuff. So excuse me, sorry, it's so dry. Sitting in the car for that long, like I had water and stuff, but you don't want to drink too much because you don't want to be stopping every 10 minutes. And I'm loving my hair with the wave to it. Yes, I didn't wash it this morning before we left, and I just pulled it out of the braids from yesterday. But I'm loving this. Like, I never have any body or any wave to my hair because it sticks straight on its own, so it's kind of fun. But anyway, let me show you some of the good things. So my friend Andrea, who is the cat lady on YouTube, if I mention anybody, I will link them below. Andrea hasn't been doing a podcast in a while, but I'm hoping she does come back and start doing them again. She posted in our group that she was drinking this wine the other day, and I fell in love with the bottle because I do collect anything Halloween witchy or anything. So the bottle is empty. It's an empty wine bottle, but it says it's Witch's Brew, and I just love the label, so she gave it to me. So I'm going to put this in my cabinet, and I just thought it was really, really neat. I kind of love it, so it's a lot of fun. And then a bunch of us on the Friday night went to, so this is going to be completely out of order. I'm just going to kind of show you guys stuff as I've got it here beside me. On Friday night, we went to Marshall's, which I do have a Marshall's in Canada. But we went to Ulta, and I was a good girl at Ulta. I only bought an eyeshadow primer and a makeup setting spray. I was being very good. But then we went to Marshall's, and my friend Mike bought these for me because he's so super sweet. So he got me this little shadow box, and it says, I drive stick. I really love that. I don't know where I'm going to put it. Eventually, when I get my bookshelves, like a lot of these things are going to go on my bookshelves, but I thought that was super awesome. And then he bought me these, and these are just so cool. I saw them, and I'm like, oh my god, I love them. You guys know me and cats. And it says, Happy Meowoween. And it comes with 2 towels, and then the second towel has just the little print on it. So these are like dish towels for your kitchen. So I'm going to hang them on the stove, like on that railing on the stove or whatever, like the handle. But I'm not going to use them. I'm going to tell Garrett, you can't use them. These are for display purposes only. But I absolutely love them. I thought they were so stinking adorable. And I bought myself a new purse. I bought myself a backpack purse. I've wanted one for a while. And they had a Tommy Hilfiger one in like a brownish color. And it was regularly, because Marshall's, for those of you who don't know, who don't live in North America, Marshall's is a kind of a discount store. It's like Overstock, essentially, but it's more higher end stuff sometimes. And this is a, like I said, Tommy Hilfiger bag. It tells you the retail price, and it retailed for $88 US. I got it for $30. Like, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just Overstock. It's part of their summer collection, I guess, that they couldn't even sell in the Hilfiger outlet stores. Because usually if the main stores can't sell something, my dad used to deliver to Hilfiger, so I know how these things, I found out how they work. That if they can't sell them at the regular Hilfiger stores, then they send them to the outlet stores. And if the outlet stores can't sell them, then I guess they go to the Marshalls or stuff like that. So those are what I bought at, or what was bought for me at Marshall's. And then my friend Mandy gave me a bag of goodies, also from Mike, because Mike buys things for everybody else. He does not buy things for himself, and we always get mad at him. We're like, Mike, buy things for yourself, man. So, and now that I'm saying that, oh, I think it's in there. Okay. I'm trying to remember where all my knitting is, because I brought 3 knitting projects with me. But he got me these, and they're flavored lip gloss, but they're in the shape of peeps. If you guys didn't know, I am kind of a Peep addict. I love them. As candy, I love them, but I think they're super cute. So he bought me those. So this one, I believe, is also a lip gloss. Yes, it is also a lip gloss, but I've never used it. I've just kept it up there, but I think I might have to use these ones. So yeah, so I got those. And then Mandy got me, what is this? Oh, this was from Lynn. So I got mini skeins, little mini skeins for my big blanket that I'm making. We always exchange minis at these festivals, those of us who are making blankets and stuff like that. So we have more minis to add to our blankets. And of course, she also gave me tea. I never say no to tea. I got a... they went to Trader Joe's, Mandy and Lynn. I will, of course, link Lynn's podcast below as well. Mandy doesn't do one anymore, or else I'd link hers. And they went to Trader Joe's, and I got a pumpkin spice face mask. Because why the heck not? And then Mandy gave me this yarn, and this is for my sweater. If you guys remember, I was knitting that 4-color sweater, the one that fades one to another. So this is to replace the last color, that darker purple. So because I was in such a rush on Thursday morning, like Wednesday night, I didn't get home till almost 11:30 at night, and I literally went right to bed. Got up in the morning, Garrett and I went to Walmart, and then I quickly packed because I hadn't even done that yet, and then I left. So some things got forgotten at home, and one of them happened to be, you know, my sweater, because I was going to bring it, and the girls were going to help me pull out the purple, and I was going to give it to Mandy in exchange for this. But she knows I'm going to see her again, so she will definitely get it. I'm going to try and spend some time sometime in the next few weeks and pull all the purple out and replace it. But so this is to finish my sweater. So I don't know what colorway this is. I believe this is from Christy at Fiber Stash. Again, anything I link, anything I mention, I'll try my best to link in the description box below. And then she made these, and they're little cozies for like when you wind your yarn into a cake, which I don't do because I don't have a Swift, but I do like it when I get them like this. But it goes around here, so as you knit from it, you pull from the inside, so that cake will collapse from the inside. But this is to hold it all together so it doesn't fall apart. Isn't that awesome? So she made me that one. There's a couple others in here too. She also got me this yarn because I was looking at it and I didn't know, and she did get it for me. And this is also from Christy at Fiber Stash. This is, I believe it's called Harvest or Hayride. Isn't that gorgeous, you guys? It is. I believe this is a DK weight. I think if I come across the label, I'll let you know for sure. But excuse me, I'm pretty sure it's a DK weight based on the thickness of the yarn. But it's beautiful, and I don't know what it's going to become yet. I'm wondering maybe a pair of mitts or another hat. A hat, right? I can always use another hat. You can never have too many of them. So again, already skeined up. And then she gave me, sorry for reaching you guys, this yarn, which she had knit a sweater for her mother-in-law out of. And she asked the group if any of us wanted it. And I said, yes, please. It's a sock weight yarn. I can definitely put into a sweater or a shawl. And she's just sick of it. She didn't want it. She was sick of looking at it after this sweater that she knit, because I think she had to knit the sweater twice because she knit the wrong size or something like that. So she gave me that. So that was super awesome. So I'm just trying to find places to put all this stuff. She has one of the Cricuts that makes, that you can print stuff on. And she made each of us in the group this. She took a Starbucks plastic cup, and it all says Sisters in Yarn. And yeah, and it's got a yarn ball on it. So we all got one of those. I've really got to up my game for next year. Like, I just brought minis. I've got to bring more. A little witch's hat, because of course it's me. Oh, another skein of that cream colored yarn. I should put that over there. And then a bag of minis, of course, can always be used. I think I'm going to use all the minis that I got from everybody for my blanket for Christmas, because in the month of December, if you're new to my channel, I try to put a new square in my blanket every day from the 1st to the 24th or 25th of December. I got some lip masks, which are always fun. I got another face mask. Oh, here it is. Here's the label. So it is, oh, so the blue one is called Mermaid Scale, and it's on her Twinkle Toes sock yarn. So it's Fiber Stash Dye Works. So there's the label. There's the front of the label. So that's the blue one. Tea. Mandy always sends tea. I got this, which is Mandy made this one again. It is a double pointed needle keeper. So you put your needles in it, and then you can close it like this, and it holds your needles inside. It's really, really pretty, and nice soft fabric too, which I really love. A little llama, like keychain dude. She printed me up this. It says 100% Canadian from A, E-H, to Z. I'm going to have to get my sister-in-law to put this on a shirt for me. That's what Mandy said to me. She goes, you can get it put on a shirt. So that's totally what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to find one. Oh no, I think I lost the label for the other ball of yarn because it's not in here. I'll have to ask Mandy. She'll know for sure. And then she made me this little llama sock knitting bag, which is just so stinking adorable. Did I put it in here? No, I didn't. I didn't have that much forethought. So yeah, so I got that as well. And a couple of Halloween-y pencils, which are always fun. Like, this is what I love, and I've got to up my game for next year. I've got to start thinking about things now. Wait till you see the bag I got from Andrea. Holy cow. Like, outside of that wine bottle. Like, it's freaking awesome. So, let me put all this back so I don't lose it. I feel like I should be writing thank you notes to everybody. You know what I mean? My friends are too good to me, and, you know, oh, they're all so awesome. So, the bag from Andrea. Andrea printed us all off these bags, and it says the Llama Squad. That's our name, and then each of our individual names is on it. Sarah, of course. On our Facebook chat group where me and my friends all talk in Messenger, we are called the Llama Squad. I don't know where that name came from. I don't know who came up with it, but that's what we've been calling ourselves for years. So it was awesome that Andrea made those bags for us. Like, she's so good. Box of Cracker Jacks, always accepted. And then, oh yeah, and then she put a little note, and it's like, Happy Rhinebeck 2019, and it says, hand wash the mug. So there's a mug in here too. A little change purse with an S on it. Very cute. It's filled with chocolate, by the way, which I have not broken into yet. Very proud of myself for that. And then the minis. A cup full of minis, but look at them. It says, knit, sip, repeat. Isn't that awesome? I absolutely love it. And then all these minis. Like I said, all these minis I got from people I am totally going to use in my blanket this Christmas. So, and then on the other side is the knitting needles. Goran has come over to investigate all the spoils. So yeah, so that was all from Andrea and this adorable, adorable bag. Oh, I love it. And I got to keep all these things out so I can show Garrett, you know, when he gets home, because he's still at work right now. I have to go back out in the car and pick him up in a little while. Well, around 10 o'clock tonight, I guess. And then, but wait, there's more. Sorry for all the leaning and moving and stuff like that. So, from my friend Brandy, the one who I picked up, who you guys saw in the car with me. You guys, she is the best. She is the absolute best. This yarn. She hand spun that herself for me. She did it a couple years ago. It's been sitting. Like, look at that. She made that. She made yarn out of fiber. I want to be able to do this, and I've tried, and I can't. I think she used her wheel. There are some thick and thin pieces, but that's the beauty of hand spun. But isn't that stunning? I think I bought this yarn. I think I bought this fiber back when I thought I was going to spin. And I didn't. And I sent it to her. So she spun it and gave it back to me. But isn't that gorgeous? I love the colors. Those are so my colors. She also gave me a pom-pom for the hat that I forgot to take with me. That I did finish, the orange hat that I was working on. But there's the pom-pom that I've got to attach to it. So that's good. So I've got that now. She found this because it was so cool. It is lip balm, but it's Ouija, like a Ouija board. Because we're both just a little kooky and crazy like that. Another lip balm. Always, I love the baby lips. They're my favorite. Also, some more minis, a handful of minis. And what's this? Oh yes, this is also from her. It's Heart Warrior. And it's a sticker that's meant to go on your car, but it's for congenital heart disease awareness, which of course, as you guys know, I have. And so does her daughter. So that's kind of how we became friends. Like when she found me on YouTube when I used to do the knitting podcast, she kind of connected with me because Letty and I, her daughter, are very similar. So yeah, so she got me that. I think I'm going to stick it on my mirror in my room, like my makeup mirror. I think that'll be cool. It's usually, I don't go for the anatomical hearts, but I really appreciate the sentiment on it. So yeah, I definitely think it's going to have to go somewhere. Or maybe even on my laptop. That would be cool too. And then she got me this. She was in Marshall's. This is how we got talking about Marshall's on Friday. She got this, and it is the Color Co. Stargazer eyeshadow palette. Look at that, you guys. Because both Brandy and I are in love with makeup. But look at the palette. Isn't that gorgeous? It's gorgeous. most of these colors I will use. Like the blues and stuff, maybe not as often, but I think they'd still be fun on a weekend or something, depending on what I'm wearing. Like the purples would go really well with my shirt I'm wearing right now. So yeah, so I absolutely love this, and I cannot wait to dive into it and use it. It's gorgeous. I'm always happy about a new makeup palette, or a new eyeshadow palette, I should say. Put this stuff away. Now we're on to the things that I actually purchased for myself. I was very low-key this year, you guys. With the fiasco with the hotel, I was back a bit of money because, like I think I told you guys, they were taking the one payment from me anyway, even though I wasn't allowed to stay there, or they wouldn't let me stay there because I was considered to be a no-show. So I'm still fighting that. They actually haven't taken it out of my account yet, but I'm waiting. Like, I don't want to just, you know, but I am going to fight them on it if they do take it from me. So we shall see. Let me put this back over here. So I was very, very good, and I brought cash with me, and that's all I used. Most of the vendors do have the ability to let you use, like, square payment thing, like, that you can, like, insert, or it, like, it goes into a machine and an iPad. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I don't use it. So, I'll put that over there. So at the festival, oh no, wait, before I even got to the festival. So the one thing that I bought myself, we went to Walmart, and I saw this shirt hanging up, and it is a sleep shirt, but I will totally wear it all over the place. And it says Witch and Famous. I absolutely... Now, I'm not a fan of spiders, if you guys didn't know, but he's cute with googly eyes, so I will allow him on my shirt. But generally, I'm not a fan of them, but I saw this, and I couldn't pass it up. It was just too stinking cute. So I got that. And then at the festival, my one thing that I bought just before we left was popcorn. This huge bag of popcorn, bigger than my head, is kettle corn. And it is the best kettle corn I have ever had. It is the perfect blend between sweet and salty. I absolutely love it. So every year a bag of this comes home with me, like guaranteed. I know a lot of people who go to the Rhinebeck Sheep and Wool or the New York Sheep and Wool, they talk about the apple cider donuts and like as the food item that you have to get. For me, it's the popcorn, but popcorn to me is also a food group because it's so yummy. And then, again, I apologize for reaching you guys. I only bought 3 skeins of yarn. I did not need yarn. I keep saying that. I do not need yarn. I do not need yarn. But I have to buy yarn when I go there. So the first booth that I went to that I bought yarn at was Dragonfly Fibers. They're a tradition for me at Rhinebeck. Every year that I've gone, I've bought a skein of yarn from them. And my goal is to typically to knit it up before the next year. And usually I buy the Rhinebeck colorway. Well, we got there a bit late. Like we didn't get to the festival till about 11:30 on Saturday. But usually they're not sold out that quickly, but we got to their booth and they were sold out. And I was kind of disappointed because it was really pretty purples with greens. And I was like, wow, they're sold out real quick this year. And then I found out later that this is actually their farewell tour, as they're calling it. They actually have bags that they made up saying the Dragonfly Fiber Farewell Tour. And the last 4 festivals that they're hitting, and Rhinebeck is one of them, of course, because they've decided to close shop and no longer dye yarn, which makes me sad because their yarn is beautiful. But they had another exclusive colorway called Streets of Laredo, Laredo. Isn't that a song by Chris Kegel? I can't remember. I do like my country music, but I can't remember how to say that. Look at that, you guys. Isn't that gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous. So it was an exclusive colorway. It says each skein is unique. For best results, alternate skein. So like if you bought more than one. This is sock weight. It is approximately 420 yards. This is one of their nicer ones. It is a 80 merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon. So ooh la la. This will probably be a shawl because of the cashmere in it. I don't think I'd put this on my feet. So this would probably be like a hat or a shawl or something like that. Or part of a shawl. I don't know yet. And then we're walking around and I saw this booth and I saw this yarn jumped out at me at first. And I've never heard of this indie dyer, like this independent dyer, but I fell in love with this colorway. And this is a DK weight yarn. And the company is called Lola Bean Yarn Co. Like that is showing up a lot brighter on camera. It's not that bright. It's a little bit more muted than that. But the colorway is called Mean and Green. And it is 231 yards. Hand wash, blah, blah, blah. 100% superwash merino, DK weight. This, just for funsies, might have to be a hat. Because in the middle of winter, when it's flipping cold outside, like that other bright green one I have, or maybe a cowl, I can do a cowl out of this one and then I can wear it with that other bright green hat that I have. And then everyone will see me all the time. Will totally see me coming. So then I'm standing in line waiting to pay, and I saw this skein. It's by the same company. This is delightful, you guys. Oh my gosh. Look at that colorway. Isn't that beautiful? Again, Lola Bean. This one is called Electric Youth. And this is a 75-25 superwash merino and nylon. This one I could make into socks, but I was thinking about this, but I don't think they go. There's too much brown in here. If it was just these colors, I think I could get away with putting these two together. But my plan is for this one is to pull one of the colors from here, either the pinks or the blues or something like that, in a solid color. And I want to do a shawl, a 2-color shawl out of this. So I kind of have ideas for all 3 of these, but not 100% set in stone on what they're going to be. So that's all the yarn that I bought, you guys. Aren't you proud of me? I'm proud of me. I think that's pretty awesome. So yeah, so that's that. And then I just want to make sure there's nothing else in this bag. This is my Rhinebeck bag from last year. My socks. Of course, the program. One cannot go without a program. My ticket stub to get in. Gotta keep that too. Ow, something just poked me. Oh, my friend Jess's card. I will leave Jessica's podcast information in the description box below as well. Oh, Mike also bought me this. It says cat is the new black. This was at Walmart. It was $2, but Mike bought it for me because, as you guys know, I have 2 black cats. And then this is my socks that I'm currently working on. But the other thing that Mandy, because for some reason during the entire festival, my friend Brandy was like all about ducks. She just wanted to see ducks. And I'm like, dude, we're going for sheep and llamas and alpacas, not ducks. And so she was kind of obsessed with seeing ducks, and it became like a running joke throughout the whole weekend about ducks. And so Mandy went to this company called, I'll have to ask her what the name of it is, because I can't remember. Mini something or other. And they sell like these adorable like little earrings made to look like little animals, like with like that Fimo clay or whatever it's called, the polymer clay. And they also make stitch markers. So she bought a set of 4 stitch markers, and she gave one to each of us in the group, like each of us who stayed in the cabin or room together. And it's a little duck. That cute. So it's on the socks that I'm currently knitting, but I'm using him there. So yeah, so she bought us each a duck stitch marker. So that was pretty awesome. And the only other thing I got that might be related to this booktube channel is I bought a book. So last night we went to Barnes & Noble, and I'm like, I'm not going to buy a book. I don't need to buy a book. I've got plenty of books at home. And I debated heavily on this one because I have this one on order from the UK. So the UK trade paperback I have on order. But you cannot get this one as far as I can tell. I've checked Amazon numerous times to order it, like when it was first released. And it said like out of stock. So I don't know if there was an issue shipping them here or what. But I saw this one on the table at Barnes & Noble. It was 20% off as a new release. Plus my friend Jess had the Barnes & Noble membership. So I got another 10% off. So I got 30% off. So I just went ahead and bought it. Because I didn't spend all my money, guys. I came home with money. Isn't that exciting? I got Sarah Morgan's A Wedding in December. So me and Mandy both bought a copy of this. And I think Brandy did as well. And the 3 of us are actually all going to read this in December. So that is going to be super, super exciting. I cannot wait. And I mean, I know for Mandy and Brandy, they both also read romance novels, but this is a little different because it's not a romance per se. It is more a women's fiction or a, you know, like a chick lit kind of, it's more of a family story than a romance. And I did try to tell them that, but they're like, no, no, no. You read some good books. We want to read this one too. So we're all going to read it. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So I will have 2 copies of this. I will have the UK trade paperback and the US or North American trade paperback. So I am happy though because it does sparkle. Can you guys see that? It is a beautiful, beautiful book and I absolutely love it. So eventually when my bookshelves go up, do I have it over here? I do. Eventually when my bookshelves go up at Christmas time, like next Christmas, both this one and last year's are going to be like on display, like the Christmas Sisters and A Wedding in December. So yeah, so I'm very, very much looking forward to this one. Sorry. I'm talking to you guys, but I'm not even looking at you. I do apologize. That's so very, very rude of me as I continue to do it. So yeah, so there's the last thing of this vlog is a book. We were going to try and hunt out a used bookstore, but it was like late and I got so very little sleep this weekend, you guys. Like, so Wednesday night, of course, I didn't sleep well because of Dad. And then Thursday night, Brandy and I were up talking a bit, and I think we finally went to sleep about 11, and we were up at 6 because we wanted to get an early start. And then, oh my God, so Friday night, so that was Friday morning, we got up at like 6. Friday night, we were all sitting around Lynn's cabin, the group of us, Lynn, her fiance, Mike, Mandy, Brandy, me, Jess. And we were talking until 2 o'clock in the morning almost, you guys. Sorry, last little bit here, you guys. I got a pop-up saying maximum file size reach, and I'm like, well, that's not good. I guess I can only record for like 38 minutes on this. But anyway, yeah, so we didn't get a lot of sleep on Friday into Saturday. So, and then we walked all day at the festival on Saturday. Saturday night, we went back to Lynn's cabin and we were chatting. We only stayed up till about 11, and then we got back and we got up about 7 o'clock this morning. So a bit more sleep, but I'm still going to be playing catch up. I'm so super glad I've got tomorrow and Tuesday off of work. I really, really need this. Next year, like I said at the beginning, we've already booked our cabin for our hotel room for next year. At least I have. I've already booked it for next year for me and the girls. And whoever 3 other girls are going to stay with me, or 4, or whoever many are going to be in my hotel room. So I'm very excited about that. The more the merrier, as I like to say. But next year, as I was saying, it falls the same way it did this year with the Canadian Thanksgiving or Columbus Day in the States on the Monday. So then the Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I would be leaving on the Thursday to, if Brandy comes, to do the same thing that I did this year. I think what I might do, though, is I might book off the whole week. Like, I'll have the Monday off of work for Thanksgiving, and then I'm going to book the entire week off of work. Again, the following Monday and Tuesday. So in reality, because of the Monday, I will only be taking 6 work days off, but I have 3 weeks vacation next year. So why not use them? What else am I going to kind of really do? You know what I mean? So I think I'm going to do that so I can have some, so I don't feel so rushed like I did this year. I mean, there was a lot going on family-wise, and that's nothing I could do. It is what it is. I'm just so thankful he's okay, that Dad's okay, but it just made for one of those weeks, you know, like weekends. So, but I'm glad everything worked out okay at the end. Everything's good. And that's all I have, you guys. So this ended up being a lot longer vlog than I anticipated. I was looking at the clips that I took. I thought, my God, this is going to be 10 minutes long. But I came and chatted to you all at the end and showed you all the spoils of the weekend. And you did get to see the pictures and some of the video that I took. I hope the video turns out okay, like the sound quality. But there will be pictures and stuff like that of all the animals and stuff like that that we saw. And yeah, so anyway, guys, that is all that I have for this video. I do hope that you enjoyed it. If you were at Rhinebeck in 2019, let me know in the comments below. How did you like it? What did you think? Was it your first time there? If you haven't been, do you want to go? Hey, if any of you in the area can get your way to New York, I am happy to have another person stay in our hotel. Just let me know. For 2020. It's the 17th and 18th of October of 2020, just an FYI. But yeah, that's all I got for this one, you guys. Take care, happy reading, and happy crafting. I'll talk to you in my next one. Bye, guys.